Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Bad Vibes. So we're in Florida. What could go wrong? Funeral home presented the wrong body for viewing, the family says. So an Orange County family said their time to mourn turned to a moment of horror. Good Lord, how do you mess that up? They said a funeral home presented the wrong body for their mother's viewing. The family said the mix-up only added to their grief of losing their loved one. I would say so. This happened, I don't want to name places. This last week. When did this come? This happened about a month ago. The family of an 80-year-old woman spoke only to the reporter of WFTV9. They said it got worse, saying they were dismissed and felt intimidated when they tried to address the issue. The family said the final moments of their mother are now filled with the image of someone else's body. To this day, they have no idea who it was. Holy crap. The video obtained shows part of the traumatic ordeal at the viewing. So she had on everything that I bought for my mom. She had on her wig, the jewelry, her brooch, all the way down to the undergarments. Oh my gosh. Mitchell's funeral home dressed up and labeled another corpse as her mother. My nephew went up to the gentleman at the window and asked who did her makeup. He responded, "I did." Said, "No disrespect, sir, but it doesn't look like my grandmother." And he told the nephew what already is done is already done. Very Dolph Lundgren, Rocky response. If it's done, it's done. And when was the last time you've seen your grandmother? So he was devastated. So later they noticed the body didn't have her mother's scar, red nails, or tattoo. The family said the embalmer came out and told them their mother had been in the back the whole time. So it got to the point where the chief judge was heard in the audio. Came in the room, he told me, "Oh, the funeral is free, but y'all have to sign a release." And I told him, "I'm not signing a release." They're trying not to charge him to avoid a mess. So I'm not signing release. And the home did not answer when the news station called them and to ask why he approached the family at the funeral home. And so the station went as far to visit the funeral home to find out how the mistake happened. It says, while the owners would not come to the front, they handed the following pre-made statement, which says, "We feel terrible about what has happened. We understand everyone's hurt and disappointment. We've taken appropriate and corrective steps, and we have apologized several times to the family. We've also implemented internal review." I mean, even if you are sincere, how do you fix that? So your final goodbyes. You don't have a chance to say another goodbye, the daughter said. You don't have another chance. There's no do-over, no rewind button, or no reset button. Funeral law expert has said a law was implemented a few years ago saying a tag with the person's name, date of birth, and death must be attached to a body at all times. And every time a body is moved, it's supposed to be documented. Makes sense. So, sounds like they didn't do that. There is a video. I'll play that in just a second. I'm just going to take a look at chat here. Hannah, you always come in hot with the news. See, I'm Mac. News. Got the news. What's the news? I got nothing. It's like wrong body viewing, stuff right out of a comedy of errors film. I think it all happens in film. I hope they got to see their mom. You know, I don't know if this is the same story. I'll play the video first. I hope I'm wrong with what I think. I think this was a different story I'm thinking. I think there was another one where they accidentally cremated somebody that was not meant to. That's a big oopsie. Let whatever ad's going to play. Oh, I say that, and it's like the first time it's not got an ad. See here. Play it.
WFTV tonight.
A family that reached out to Channel 9 says a local funeral home dressed, labeled, and presented the wrong body for their mother's viewing. I'm Greg Ormond.
And I'm Martha Sagowski. The family says the mix-up only adding to their grief. They told us it happened last week at Mitchell's funeral home in Orange County. Now the family of 80-year-old Julia Mitchell is demanding answers. Our Sabrina Majori has been looking into that funeral home's history, and she's joining us live right now with new details tonight. And Sabrina, what were you able to uncover?
Well, Martha, this funeral home has been family-owned since the 1970s. Today, we asked state regulators whether any complaints have been filed against the funeral home. We're still waiting to hear back at this time. In the meantime, the family we spoke to says they still don't know whose body was at their mother's viewing.
Do you not know?
It was such a horrific day for us.
Sanji Walker, and she realized another woman's body was laying in her casket.
She had on everything that I bought for my mom. She had on her wig, the jewelry, her brooch, all the way down to her undergarments. She looks gorgeous. She looks 50 years younger, but she does not look like mom.
The final goodbye for 80-year-old Glenn Mitchell was far
I was like,
from
it wasn't
peaceful
mom.
after Walker noticed the body didn't have her scar, red nails, or tattoo. And when the embalmer came out,
He said, she's still in the back. And I said, well, that's not my mom? And he was like, no, that's not your mother.
this moment captured
So they still had her in the
camera
back.
appearing after the
Holy
funeral
crap.
home acknowledged the mix.
The error is purely on us.
Today, Channel 9's Felicia Ashley went to the funeral to find out how this mistake happened. The owners wouldn't go to the front, but handed over a statement saying terrible about what has happened and understand every word and disappointment. The statement says the funeral has taken appropriate and corrective steps and has apologized several times to the family, as well as implemented internal review. It comes as Channel 9 has learned another lawsuit was filed against the same funeral home in 2022. That complaint alleges a body that was mistakenly sent to the funeral home wasn't proper. As a result, quote, significant and catastrophic decomposition of the remains occurred.
Ew.
That lawsuit was filed by relatives of LaMercy Joseph, died in 2021. The case was eventually settled in 2023.
It's already hard enough to muster
You
up
had
that
one
strength
job.
to go in and view your parent, you know, and then for this to happen on top of that, I mean, it was like like a kick in the gut.
As for Julia Glenn Mitchell's family,
I'm gonna have to think about this for the rest of my life. You don't have a chance to have another goodbye. You don't.
That's wild.
and we asked the state agency that regulates funeral homes whether they are currently investigating this mix-up. We're still waiting to hear back about that. We also did reach out again to Mitchell's funeral home to elaborate.
I would assume that
on
answer is
earlier
yes.
Statement, as well as ask for comment on that lawsuit. We did not hear back before news time. For now, reporting live in Orlando, I'm Sabrina Maggiore, WFTV Tonight.
I don't care if you're the busiest funeral home ever. How do you?
I need Sirikia.
Shh. Come on, we got you.
I don't care if you're the busiest funeral home ever. How do you misplace a body? But yeah, it does sound like she was still in the back. I don't know how that changes things. Hopefully for a little bit to the better side. But oh gosh, yeah, it's like the wrong person in your mom's clothes that you got her. That's bad. I can't even make a joke about that. So freaking figure out how to fix that. Corrective measures my ass. You better follow everything to the T from now on. Good Lord.